If you're thinking about switching your Firestick in 2026, just pause for a second. Because right now, a lot of people are upgrading and only realizing afterwards that things don't quite work the same way anymore. On the surface, it looks like a simple upgrade. Newer device, faster performance, but behind the scenes, the direction is starting to change. And depending on what you buy next, you could end up with something that gives you less flexibility than what you already have. So before you spend anything, let me show you the two paths you actually have and how to pick the right one for your setup. After my last video, loads of you were asking, what should I buy instead? Is there anything that works like the Firestick used to? So instead of guessing, I've broken it down properly. And a quick one, if you use your streaming device for more than just Netflix and Prime, hit like now because this is where your real options are. Here's the part most people miss. You're not really choosing a device anymore. You're choosing how much control you want over your setup. There are now two clear paths. One is simple, supported, and designed to just work. The other gives you far more flexibility, but expects a bit more from you. And most people pick the wrong one because they focus on specs and price instead of how they actually use their device day to day. So starting with the simple route, this is where most people naturally land because it feels closest to what they're used to. Devices like the On 4K Pro or the Google TV Streamer are designed to be straightforward. You plug them in, sign in, install your apps, and everything just works. They're clean, responsive, regularly updated, and fully supported for all the main streaming apps. But the trade-off here isn't performance, it's how much control you actually have. These devices are designed to be simple and supported, which means everything works, but within a more structured environment. And for most people, that's exactly what you want. But if you're the type of user who likes to go further, install different apps, customize your setup, and really control how everything works, that's where you may start to feel those limits over time. I've done a full breakdown of the best certified options already, so if you want a deeper comparison, that video is worth checking out after this. Now, if flexibility is the reason you're even watching this, this is where things start to change. Once you move away from certified devices, you open up a completely different set of options. This is where you'll find devices like Formula, Ugu, and Buzz TV. These aren't built around restrictions in the same way. They give you more freedom with apps, more control over how everything is set up, and fewer limitations over time. The trade-off is that they're not quite as plug and play. You might spend a bit more time setting things up, but in return, you're getting far more flexibility. And then at the top end, you've got mini PCs. That's where you can run Android through emulators like Nox, BlueStacks, Mumu, and install exactly what you want and control the entire experience yourself. It's easily the most powerful option, but also the one that takes the most effort to get right. I've got full guides for all of these on the channel, including mini PC setups and comparisons of non-certified options. So definitely check those out if you're considering that route. And whichever route you go down, especially if you're installing apps or using different streaming services, you really should be using a VPN. I use NordVPN for this. It works great on Firestick, Android boxes, and mini PC setups. I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. So when you strip everything back, the decision is actually really simple. If you want something easy that just works, go with a certified device. If you want more flexibility and control, go with an uncertified option. And if you want the most powerful setup possible, that's where mini PCs come in. It's not about which device is best, it's about how much control you actually want. Let me know in the comments, are you keeping things simple or do you want full control? I'm really interested to see where most of you land, so drop them in the comments. And if you're watching this thinking, I've already got a Firestick, don't worry, because what you do with your current device actually matters more than what you buy next. I'll cover that in the next video. So my advice is, don't rush into switching your Firestick in 2026. Understand your options, choose the right path for how you actually use your setup. And this way you'll avoid making the wrong upgrade. If this helped, make sure you're subscribed for more videos just like this. You can also follow me on X, check out unboxd.tech and join channel memberships for access to our private members only chat. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.